Rocket League is a beautiful game. It's fast-paced, and even though it has some patterns that we can use to be better positioned, it will always have its code of unpredictability. Every single play is a constant mind game in between you and your opponent, in which you will use your speed and intelligence to come out victorious from these situations. In Rocket League, we have different ways to become faster. We can improve our boost management, be better positioned, and reduce our reaction times. But the downside to this is that none of them will make us more unpredictable. But what if I told you there is a mechanic that makes you go faster without your opponent expecting it? Well, that's a mechanic that you probably heard about, but you never saw a video about it. Or at least I didn't find any on YouTube explaining it in detail. This mechanic is the famous preflip, which allows you to catch your opponents off guard since it gets you from point A to point B much faster than you would regularly do by just throwing boost and driving. Preflips are useful when you don't have time to wrap the ball around to go for a shot, so you can use them to speed up the ball and change the direction of it while outspeeding your defender, all in just one move. You can also create goals from unthinkable angles by just touching the ball towards a direction that you wouldn't normally do without a preflip. You can even outplay your defenders and create a magic pass out of thin air, or even go for multiple rapid resets and score an outstanding goal. The best thing about this mechanic is its versatility. You will see throughout the video many clips for myself using it in different situations. This is why practicing this technique will definitely increase your chances at succeeding at plays that you would normally fail at, since you always have an ace up your sleeve. But now the question is, how can we do it? I'm not going to lie to you. This is an advanced mechanic that requires trial and error. But I will give you 4 points to focus on so you can learn it in the shortest amount of time. The 3 first points are more like an introduction to preflips, and it's more theoretical based. But the 4th one is the most practical, which includes keys to improve at them. We will begin with the most general concept, which is what you would normally do with any single mechanic. Experiment with preflips. You can start in free play, then move on to a private match, and finally try them on rank. I recommend you first trying to just control the flip itself, and then start trying to hit the ball. What you can do is start by preflipping in the air, since it allows you to imagine a bit better how to flip and cancel. You will have a training pack on the description to practice this part. The second aspect is that your initial positioning will determine where you will end up with your flip. Even though you can modify it by canceling, which we will see later, don't underestimate where you start your flip. Positioning and timing will make the canceling part much easier if done right. So just make sure to learn how far your flip will throw you so you can be a bit more accurate for when and with what part of your car you will hit it. Which leads me to our 3rd point. We will usually want to hit the ball with the last part of our flip. This touch has to be subtle. This is kinda counterintuitive, but if you have less surface of your car touching the ball, you will create more power. This is why it requires so much feeling to be accurate and adjust properly the speed, either to make a hard touch with the corner of your car to go for a powerful shot, or a softer one with more surface and less momentum to go for a pass. And that's where it comes to play our 4th and most important point. I've been experimenting for the last few days with flips to understand my muscle memory and try to translate it to words for this tutorial. And I came up with mainly 4 keys. The first one, and probably the most obvious one, is that you need to learn more kinds of flip cancels so you can get familiar with them. Knowing how to speed flip, half flip, or dodge control are mechanics that will definitely help you to move on to preflips. I have 2 videos that I definitely recommend you watching after this one, and both links are in the description. Use your boost to adjust. Now we already know that we will be using our joystick or our movement keys in order to control where we will hit the ball. But this is also determined by when we are hitting it. A second earlier or later will cause us to get a clean touch or fail miserably at this task. This is why also using your boost will help you to be more accurate, since it allows you to correct your trajectory and timing in case your flip is a bit messed up. Your spinning force will determine how hard you will hit the ball. If you want a harder touch, make sure to be spinning while you're hitting the ball. This will create a lot of power into the touch because you will be combining the momentum force with the spinning one. On the other hand, if you want a softer touch, cancel your flip right before hitting it, absorbing the impact of the ball and slowing it down in case you want to go for a pass. Use car camera to be more accurate. This is a hack that can also be used in shooting and dribbling. I know, it might be tricky to switch cameras when you're canceling a flip, but after having some practice with just ball cam, you should be able to start trying to practice it. You will switch from ball cam to camera cam right before you are going to hit the ball. It's fundamental that you nail this timing because otherwise you will be having the ball out of sight, messing the whole thing up. Doing it properly will allow you to be more accurate. This is mainly because you have a fixed camera instead of a moving one. This makes it easier to see where you will hit the ball and with which part of your car you will do it. Keep in mind the third point that I mentioned. We will usually want to hit the ball with the last part of our flip. Now it's time to put all this into practice. I created a training pack that you have been watching during this whole video, so you can try in order to apply all these keys. I would love to see your successful attempts and then also ones, so you can try to apply all these keys and I can give you some feedback. So feel free to send all the clips to my Discord. The link for my server and the training pack code are in a pinned comment down below. And if you're still struggling with this or any mechanic and you want to know more about the game, feel free to book a one-on-one coaching session with me where I break down your gameplay and I roast you for 1 hour straight. Don't worry, I will try to be kind. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your coaching questions down below in the comments because I answered them all. And with anything else to say, thanks for watching and see you next time.